and his
So,
videographer Tyler. Tyler's going on, man.
what's good, bro?
Yeah, I wanted to start off with the album Submerge.
Yes,
Not really
sir.
necessarily the album, but like because I know writing music, well, even doing music is pretty tough. So I just want to know like your creative process in writing and
For me, it's always like I gotta find inspiration from different things. Like I know certain people be like, especially like big artists, they always like get in interviews and they be like, I don't listen to other people when I'm working on albums and stuff like that. For me, at least I can speak from my own perspective. I know that like I work from like gaining inspiration from old things like older music and older movies even sometimes, or just anything that can bring inspiration. I like to listen to a lot of old school music, sometimes new music, just gaining inspiration.
like specific like artists. No.
Yeah. I love Kendrick Lamar, obviously. That's like one of my favorite rappers. You can tell from like some of the stuff that I write. Kendrick Lamar, I listen to a lot of Michael Jackson. I love Michael. Weirdly, I was listening to a lot of like rock music during working on Submerge. And yeah, that was pretty dope. But I was like listening to it on the low because it's not cool to listen to rock where we from. So
Listen to all that shit, man.
yeah.
You ever heard of Death Grips? I listen to Death Grips.
Yeah, I definitely. I
Oh,
like
for
them.
real?
Yeah.
You
They're
fuck
dope.
with them, Tyler?
Yeah.
Yo, I fucks with them since like album one. Them niggas is different.
Yeah.
Like album one, like ex-military?
Yeah, probably like 10th grade in high school. I got put onto
shit.
it, like, and I was like, cause I was into rock, but it was on the low, and then I found them. I was like, wait, these dudes rap and they make rap. I was like, nah, this is.
What about you? Like,
For me, I think it started just last year. I wasn't really too heavy into it. I used to listen to like a lot of soft punk, but like the Main Street stuff that like used to come on TV and stuff like that. But recently, I've been listening to a lot of not recently, but as of like when I was working on Submerge, I was listening to like Van Halen and I even got to see Metallica in concert, which was like one of the craziest experiences because I didn't think I was gonna see them that day.
what was that like? Like, what was that?
That was fun as hell. Like I was like, yo, this is I've watched like two white guys get into like this like brawl, like a mosh. It was a mosh pit, but it was like, holy shit, this is actually happening. This is what happens at Metallica concerts. Also got the pleasure to see Metallica, Rihanna, and Kendrick all in one day. So that was like really fire for me. That was like a big experience for me.
Any other like hip hop?
Oh, hip hop! I could go on
like
go on for days.
Because in your album, I forgot the song. I think it was "Forgive Me Too." You mentioned "Free the Robots."
Oh yeah,
So I'm thinking, you're a bigger, you're a big Capital Steez. I hear that in you. I hear Capital Steez as well.
I think when I first started rap, I had a conversation with Steez over social media and whatnot. He was just like, yo, keep going, just keep working on what you're working on. The first song I ever put out like on a wide level was Strawberries, and it was inspired by his song Emotional. I forget the name of the title, but it was like Emotional Thoughts or something like that. And he was it was in the same atmosphere of what he was speaking about in that song. I expressed myself in the same way in Strawberries, just differently. But yeah, Steez is definitely R.I.P. Steez. Like he's definitely one of the inspirations, especially like the whole pro era movement and Beast Coast in general was I know for a lot of us growing up, to see them break open that door as artists, that was like crazy.
What do you feel like the New York scene is now? Do you like it?
Yo, we was just talking about this on the way over here.
For real, yeah.
New York scene right now is fire. I'm gonna tell you this. I like a lot of rappers from New York, a lot of underground rappers, a lot of rappers that people aren't aware of yet, but they will be. I like Dot Demo. I like Radimus. I like Renema. I like the whole of Mogul Club, which is like a collective group, and Radimus is also in it. History, Mad Wiz, Critical. There's a couple of them. I like Pro Era, but
So
like,
these are underground.
these
'Cause
are.
all I hear is fucking A Boogie and fucking
Yeah.
Dave East and
I like Dave East.
That's all I hear.
I fuck with Dave East. I like A Boogie sometimes too. A Boogie, he got some records that I'll be like, yeah, this is fire. I'm not one of them dudes that be like, yo, I don't fuck with nobody or I don't listen to this shit because it's not what I do. I like everybody's shit. Like, it's dope. What I do say, though, the conversation we were having on the way over here is like, we got to start separating rappers from actual artists. Because I feel like rap is a skill that anyone can hone. And it's just like, when you have that, when people are rappers, it's so easy for everybody to, like, spit. Like, I think everybody can rap. But when it comes to being an artist and really songwriting, there's not too many of those people out here. So I don't be respecting everybody on that level, but I fuck with them as rappers in New York.
I mean, you don't think art is like perspective?
Yeah, to an extent. But then it's also, you have to realize that people, just rappers in general, there is a difference between being an artist and being a rapper, and I really believe that. I believe that being an artist, at least in this society that we live in, being an artist takes way more than just knowing how to rhyme words and put them together and jumble them together and rap. That's cool. There's a lot of people that can rap, and we can talk days about them. We can talk for days about them, but when you sit down and actually listen to people that you love Kendrick Lamar, and he's one of the biggest artists right now, only because he's an actual songwriter and because he takes his time out to really give you great music. J. Cole, another one. He might not be your favorite, but he's somebody that songwrites. He sit down, thinks about hooks, thinks about how this beat flows, how he rides on the beat, how he can create this music where you can envision it. Drake is another person where you can sit down and really appreciate it. Drake is, as much as people like to hate on Drake, I can definitely sit down and say, yo, Drake is a dope artist only because he's been at this for one, he's been pressing the same button for the past decade, and it's been working. Two, he, outside of his pop records, Drake has a skill that a lot of people don't, and it's like he can spit. And he can really put raps together from time to time, and he's a songwriter. He's a great songwriter at that. Although we do have, the allegations where people write his other songs and stuff, but that's cool because I know there was a point where Drake was writing for other people and doing certain things. So I do respect Drake and his artistry as a whole.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I gotta meet him. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta see that for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like. I don't know about Drake, but I like his music though. His music is fire though. But
Drake is cool. Yeah.
So about like Submerge, like
I'm listening.
Are you good?
Yeah.
About Submerge, like what kind of like what was your process making that album?
Record. What was the process of me working on
that
album?
Working on that album, like because it's personal.
Stressful.
Album was very personal.
It was very fucking stressful. I can say that. Working on that album was crazy because we went through a lot of different phases creating it. And I remember me and him are like really like the creatives behind making projects. At least this project, he was hands-on with it. Like he sat down with me. I was like, yo, bro, I want to do a project and I want to make it about surrounding water or whatever. That was like the general idea. Like I want to make water and like how can we morph this into actually being a story that we could tell. And he gave me the name. He was like, Submerge. And I'm like, yo, that's it right there. That's the album name. We're calling it Submerge. Maybe like before we even created any music, he was like, Submerge. That's the name of the album. And I'm like, I bet. Yeah.
So it's like 2 years before you was going through a lot of things that you felt like that was submerging you, and you felt like.
Yeah. Yeah, as a whole, I feel like we were, I was dealing with a lot of different things in terms of
personal life
things, yeah. And which is what makes a great artist for me, at least. The experience that they go through and how they can convey it on the track. So when I sat down and created Submerge, I was dealing with a lot of bullshit, like women problem and personal problems where I had to deal with like family, friends, and things are starting to happen for me in my career, but I also have to deal with outside shit still. And then you have to deal with people seeing you get to a certain point and they're now like, oh shit, he's about to go somewhere. Let me hold on to him and create this. They pretty much created these insecurities for me. Like, I didn't want to deal with a lot of people. I didn't want to be friends with a lot of people for mad long. I was closed off because I felt like people just wanted to fuck with me because they know I was gonna get to a certain point in my life and things of that nature. And
yeah, because I heard that in the song "If I," and
oh,
also
yeah,
used to.
Yeah, exactly.
You talk about those
yeah, exactly. And that's that transition phase where I felt like I was dealing with people that necessarily didn't really care about who I was, but who I was gonna be. And that shit did build a lot of insecurities at that time where I was just like, nah, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with these people. I don't want to be around anybody.
These your closest friends?
Nah, not only closest friends. This is family. Niggas hit me up like, yo, bro, let me hold this, let me do that. Like, I don't tell people about it, but it happens. Everybody wants something because they see certain things happening. They see me go into a certain place. They see me go to LA and like work on this album. They see me do this, and it's just like, oh shit, this is actually happening for him now. Let me gravitate towards him and hug him more, so he can give me shit when it's time. And
what about the industry? Like, as far as like people in the industry, are you seeing a change too?
Hell yeah. Just last, was it this week or last week? We got like a really big email.
Yeah, it was like this week.
That was like this earlier, like Monday.
Yeah.
And I was hype as shit. I'm like, yo, this actually happened. Holy shit. But it's just like, yeah, there is a change. People are noticing it, and it's off of this album. I know for a fact it's off of this album because people have called me like, yo, this is the one. And this is what it. So yeah, people in the industry have been gravitating towards me, and it has been a big change overall.
Yeah, this album kind of like the last song when you said you was breaking the code, breaking out, like it was kind of like you was in the Matrix and you was breaking out of it.
Yeah,
kind of like it's coming into fruition.
That was it. That was like the general idea of the album. I wanted people to understand that like whatever I'm dealing with, I know someone out there is dealing with it, and I know that because people have written me like, yo, this changed my life. Thank you. Like, I was just dealing with depression. I was just going through this. So, yeah, it was like a code breaker for me. Like, I felt it, and I felt like I had to, like, get out of these situations, and I knew it was caused by me. It wasn't any I feel like a lot of people have this self-victimization ideology about themselves, and they think a lot of their problems are caused by the people around them. But it's really due to a lot of decisions that they make, and they don't really backtrack on that. So me speaking about it was me breaking out of all of those things and, like, not being a victim of my own circumstances anymore.
When was that? What point was that? What was, like, the breaking point where you...
Constant breakdowns, like, breaking down, literally going through depression, dealing with certain shit, and just like, all right, I got to get myself out of here. How do I do this? And you have to sit down. If you're a rational person, you're going to sit down and be like, okay, how do I get myself out of this same cycle that's been going on for the past 4 years or 2 years, or whatever, however long it is? How can you sit down and really overcome these circumstances? And you have to realize that a lot of things are caused by yourself, and you have to go out there and change that as a whole.
That's deep.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you took a lot of risks doing this album.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. He could tell you we went to LA. I ain't gonna speak about the situation on like why we went to LA and whatnot because it's just on a professional level. But yeah, we went to LA and took a lot of L's out there, and we were out there for almost 2 months and a half, like just out there struggling, dealing with a lot of different shit because something was supposed to happen and it didn't, and we lost a lot of money being out there and shit like that. So yeah.
But but as far as like, cause it was one status you had. It was like you spent like 12 grand on this album or something like that.
Oh
like,
yeah, hell yeah.
That's a risk taker.
That was the legit number between me and his money. Yeah, that was like 12K. Like that whole year, I'm literally traveling from here to here, and trying to like make everything happen. And this guy's taking risks with me. Like, yo, we gonna do this shit and we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make this shit happen, and no matter what, we're gonna break through this door. No matter what we're dealing with at that point. And
shit, man, it's good you got somebody. Sure, you got somebody on your side.
Yeah,
man. A lot of people don't have that.
Definitely.
A lot of people's out here doing this shit by themselves, man. Like for real.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So like, I mean, well, so in the Submerge, right? You was talking about hold on. Submerge. So it's like as far as like streaming, is streaming really helping? Like
hell yeah, at least for this album, hell yeah. This is
like explain that, like explain like cause I'm really interested into like the music business. It's like
right.
What kind of like how can independent artists make money from doing like their craft that they love?
Independent artists can make money off of their craft. For one, you have to build a brand. You have to become a brand. And I realized that at 16 years old, which is why I started my own label at 16 called F Perfection. And I learned that you had to build a brand over years. It didn't happen overnight. I am now able to make money off of music. I am now able to sell merch to people. And it's only because I built that vision around myself where people can be like, okay, I believe in what he's doing and who he is to support it. So my advice to anybody that's coming up is just continue to stay consistent and really keep hitting that wall until it breaks down. And then you build the brand and show people who you are, and people will want to support that as a whole. I remember doing shows where it was 3 people coming. I remember trying to sell merch and nobody was buying it. I remember not having certain things in place, but that all comes with the build up, especially as an independent artist. That comes with the build up of who you're going to be. And that, I feel like those moments separate you from the people that just bullshit this and the people that are really down to do the process. So that's my advice to anybody that's coming up.
You don't think that you don't think it's kind of a hassle that like you're trying to do this, but people keep constantly like putting you down. You don't think that?
Yeah, hell yeah. That's definitely a hassle. Sometimes it feels defeating. Sometimes it doesn't. But that's just I also understand, and when I actually sit down and rationalize it, it's like I know that's just a part of what I have to go through. That's just what I have to go through as an artist, and that's what I have to deal with at the end of the day. And that's cool to like know that you have to continue to fight through this. We were just also talking about this. You have to take these L's. Like, that's it.
Oh, yeah, I know about taking L's.
Yeah, anybody that wants to do anything great in this world, you have to be able to take L's. You have to take losses and be able to bounce back from it and learn from those mistakes and then come back and be stronger. That's the only way you're going to win.
What so you do visuals with this guy right here, Tyler?
Yes, yeah. Wicked Swami, the genius.
Tyler, a.k.a. Wicked Swami.
Yeah, the genius.
Like, I mean, what is that process like coming up with the, like, do you sit down, like, really, like, keep listening to the songs that you want to make visuals for, or, like, what is that process like?
That's a great question. The process for coming up with visuals, he could probably tell you better than me, but I just come with a general idea and he morphs it into his own.
Yeah, because that's his craft.
Yeah,
you know
like I'll come to him with the music and he'll like take it for 3 days. I won't see him for like 3 days, and then he'll like come back to me like, yo, I know what we gonna do with this now. Like, I know what we gonna shoot. Or maybe it'll even take months, but he'll have an idea. He'll be working on it like, okay, this is what we're gonna do for this video. I see it now. And a lot of my music is easy to shoot videos for because it's already like the audio is visuals itself.
Yes.
So when he says it's like it's way easier for me to like shoot videos.
It's like a story he already has with the music. So it's just like once he gives me the song, it's like I don't even need to like. I mean, I do come to you usually. Like, Like, what was your mindset when you was in this? But this song is really his music is usually really self-explanatory. Like you feel it while you listening to it and stuff. Like I could close my eyes and I can visualize it. So yeah, I'll be like MIA for like a couple days, and then he see me with the scruffy, and I'm like, yo, I got it.
I got it. Yeah,
shoot this. I got this.
Real talk. That's really
is he the only rap artist that you work with? And with sides like videography, like doing music videos.
I did music videos a lot. Like a lot. Then
like I wanted to ask you like how's the music industry treating you? Like
I mean, it's a lot of like it's a lot of like you get the DM. It's like, yo, folks, I like what you do. What's up? I'm like, cool. Yeah, this is my rate. Yeah, but I'm trying to, and I'm like, this is my rate.
Get you I can get you clout points if you shoot this video for me.
Exactly. I usually do. I usually don't feel any type of way like doing music for free. Doing videos for free with like artists is if I really like you, and you don't even have to be somebody big. It's like if I could listen to like one or two songs and I'm like, nah, I see something, like I see this OD, and I'll just work with them, and it becomes easier because if I do videos for somebody I don't like. I want to say I don't like, but I don't necessarily feel that much. Yeah, connect with the music. It would be like it feels like a 9 to 5, because like you got to keep like playing the song back over and over, getting everything lined up and everything, and then now I have to go into my creative mind, and now I kind of already don't like this song, and now I have to now create this into a visual that like I will like, and I usually don't like it, so. Now more days, I really only work with him because I really like his music, and there's a couple other artists here and there from our city that I wouldn't mind working with and stuff, but I'm more so moving towards like the film aspect and stuff. Like I got a lot of stuff coming in film wise, so that's mostly it. So it's like mostly just writing and stuff, and then whenever he's ready to do visuals, I'm like, yo, I'm always ready. You just gotta hit me with it.
Yeah, for me, visuals is coming soon. We've been coming up with a lot of different things, and also we don't want to put out anything half-assed. So we trying to get the best equipment. That's really what we've been working on, and that's why you haven't been seeing like consistent visuals coming out and whatnot. We really just been trying to get the best shit out, and that's the only way we're putting it out these days. Because what this album has done, excuse me. What this album has done is put us on a platform where it's like we have to like
be consistent.
Not consistent, but put out good shit because people are watching now. Certain important people are watching, and that's what actually matters to us, and that's what get us to the next point. That's how we'll make $1 million.
Are y'all doing a music video for Love and Sex?
Yes.
Are y'all doing the music for Strawberries too? No.
I never thought about that.
Maybe. I don't know. Usually it comes to us like it'll just come like I'll be like, yo, I've been feeling this song. Let's do this song. He'll be like, all right, let's do this, and then we just think of something completely huge and everything, and it usually comes out very nice. I'll say majority, like probably all the time. It's just I feel like our visuals always been good. It's just now quality wise, it's getting better.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like we are learning more about what's the best shit to shoot with, like. Because we really are hands-on, and we're our own bosses at this point. So it's like we have to be hands-on with the shit that we want to do, the things that we want to create, just overall. And the only way we can do that is if we put our best foot forward and get the best stuff that we could put together and fund it ourselves, because nobody else is going to do it. At least that's what we used to think. People want to do it now, but it's like it's kind of too late. We're at this point, and we've been doing it on our own for so long. It's like we don't even want people interrupting the vision at this point.
So are you getting funded, or are you funding most of the projects? So
I'm getting funded by the people that support me, like from like listening to my albums and buying merch and shit like that. That's the only way we getting funded. But nah, Not at the moment.
You don't think that's fucked up, man?
Nah, not even. I understand it.
Like New York, we don't support each other at all, man. Like, artist wise, man, we don't support each other at all, man. Like,
it's an epidemic.
It's in the film business. I'm in the film realm.
Yeah.
I'm doing most of this shit by myself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure it's the same for music.
It's way more rewarding though when you do it by yourself than to have everybody supporting it. I just feel like it'll get to a point where everybody supports each other, but it's just you got to set the example. So when me and him get in the door fully and we're showing our way, people will follow suit. The younger people will follow suit. New York will be, and I'm not saying we're gonna change the whole shit, but you got, like Tupac said, you got to be the change that sparks the mind at some point. And we got to be that. We got to show the example. We got to set the example at some point. So,
do you think New York would change? Do you think New York would start?
Anything can change. It's just a matter of showing. If people see something the same way over and over, they're going to follow it because our bodies follow regimens all the time. We follow routines, rather. Let me say that. Bodies follow routines. Your mind follows routines. You do the same things. You just don't notice it. You do the same things a lot. So if you're in an environment where everybody doesn't support each other, then guess what? Everybody not gonna support each other, and it's gonna continue because it's a cycle. Yeah. But if you start to show people different and give them the idea that things can change, then it will eventually. But you just have to continue to show people the positive steps to get there. Rather,
just for me personally, I don't think there's a lot of genuine artists out there anymore in New York. You know what I'm saying?
And that's because they're following other people.
I know I'm a little pessimistic, but I just
that's cool. I understand why. I definitely understand why, but it's just like these people don't really understand that because they see other people being egotistical, so everybody's gonna follow the ego.
I don't think it is that. I think the people just don't give a shit.
Nah, I really don't think that, because you got to sit down and have these conversations with these people and why they act the way they do. And we've sat down with people and be like, yo, why you don't do this? Why you don't? And they literally say it's because nobody else is doing it. Why should I care? Pretty much. That's people's mindsets. Like, why should I help anybody else? Why should I do this? If everyone, I feel like we also are taught growing up a lot of times that to be selfish. Our parents teach us that shit. You probably wouldn't even remember, but like going to school in kindergarten, your parents ever told you don't share your lunch with other people or don't share your food with other people? Yeah, every day. Like, that was an everyday thing. It subconsciously, you don't know that, but it's teaching you to be selfish. Like, nah, I don't want to share with this person. You don't know what that kid is going through. I always was conscious of that, even when I was in like kindergarten. I was always conscious, like, yo, if I got a pack of cookies and there's enough, like, all right, I'm going to share with this kid. I don't know if this kid ate all day type shit. But a lot of people don't have that because their parents instill in them, like, yo, don't share this with this, or don't do this because this will happen to you. And it's just like people have to be more open-hearted with the things that they do.
You also don't think it's like corporations behind the strings?
Capitalism.
Because like, it's rare. It's funny. It's rare that I see like an independent artist where, like, this is the time to be an independent artist because you're going to make a lot of fucking money from it, right? Right. But most of the fucking artists that's big, you know, they're signed to fucking 360 deals and all that bullshit. Like,
yeah, 360 deals aren't always a bad thing, though. And I say that because people don't know the ins and outs. Sometimes a 360 deal can be very great for an artist like me. If I was to get a 360 deal right now, I'm smart enough to know how to get out of it. If I take a $500K advance, we would fund for all the things that we need to, which includes PR, videos, the proper videos, the equipment and things of that nature, and then flip it back into what we need to fund the tour. And then when we make that money off a tour, now we don't owe these labels anything, and now every money that we make is residual income. It's all for us. Everything is for us. This is ours now. But everyone doesn't know that. They're not smart enough. They're not well-rounded on. They
just don't know. They're probably smart, but they just don't.
Some people aren't smart enough. You're right, but some
probably
people
just ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to call them not smart. I'll just like call them just ignorant.
I'm not gonna call everybody not smart. Some people are really just not smart though. You gotta be aware of that. That's really it. Like, as fucked up as it sounds, some people are just not smart or can't comprehend the ideas of that. So, and no one is teaching them. Like I said, corporations.
That's what I'm saying.
Corporations.
No one's teaching these things.
Nobody,
no one's.
of course not. Of course not. Why would they? That's how they make money. See, a person like me and him, we know. All right, we know how to flip this money and get it back to them. And now we don't owe them anything, and everything that we make over tours, studio time, that's all our money. Everything is ours. Other people don't know that. They're not well rounded on this, and that's okay. So, but somebody got to teach them. That's why I said when we get in here, we have to set the example. Teach people. I'm tired of the selfish notations of everybody, and I'm not just saying New York artists. I don't want to marginalize it to New York people, because there's people in LA that are selfish. There's people in Atlanta that are selfish. Everyone has their own agenda to make money, and it's like, fuck everybody else. I don't care if you're an upcoming artist. I don't care. And it's like, yo, it's enough money for all of us to make, but people rather be selfish. And it's just a matter of teaching people, though, like, to be a certain way and not do this and not do that and not be selfish and give more, you know?
I heard in a 2016 interview you did with just some white guy. I'm not sure, but
Matt.
You was saying that you wouldn't sign to like a big record label. You'd probably sign to like a more of an independent label. Is that same mindset?
Hell no. That was 2016. Only like I said, I wasn't well rounded on things. I learned though, and I know now. I'm taking a big label deal, and I'm gonna run this shit up like the way I'm supposed to. Yeah, 2016K. I'm not gonna say that was a bad mindset, but nah, I know how to maneuver this shit now, and it's like, okay, if I get that, it's lit. Like, I know what to do. I know what we're gonna do. I know how we're gonna run this, and it's only because we learn from being independent. So
learn from your mistakes,
your
failures, and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I would definitely, for all you labels out there, anybody that's listening, I would definitely take a deal if the price is right, and let's become the greatest artists out here. You know, I'm your next gem, y'all. So yeah.
So your next album, you said, is coming in 2019. Right?
Yeah, I have a title for it and everything. I just worked on a couple songs for it like last week, or this week. Last week, no, it was this week. I think it was this week. Yeah, it was this week.
Early this week. Probably.
Yeah, I worked on a few songs from it too, and they came out fire. So yeah.
For real?
Yeah, the next album is gonna be. If Submerge is great to people, just know like, my next project is going to be different in terms of, like I was explaining with like being an artist, in terms of songwriting, hooks and melodies and things of that nature. That's what you should expect from the next album. That's what I'll say. That's what you should expect.
I expect honesty.
Of course.
Submerge, like,
it's always going to be that, because I've always been that artist. But
yeah, just like I would say, like you, Kanye, Kendrick, like, I'm pretty.
Yo, that's huge for you to even put me in the same conversation as those dudes.
Nah, what I was saying, like a comparison is like, all your albums are very honest.
When people say shit like that, I just be so mind blown. Like, word, my album is that good. Like Kendrick and Kanye, the goats. Like, word.
No, because y'all know how to create music, honest music, whatever. Like, tell y'all truths, but telling like a magic kind of way. You know what I'm saying?
I could dig that. That's a fact. Yeah.
Like, I love Strawberries because I love how you was the way you was thinking, the way and how your friends perceived you. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's a trip, and yeah, it's like I love that shit. That was one of my favorite songs.
So crazy to me to think back. Like, I was like 15.
Oh, writing that?
Yeah, that song came out when I was like 15.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, that shit came out.
Oh, Strawberries 2. I'm sorry, Strawberries 2. I'm talking about Strawberries.
Oh, Strawberries 2.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, yeah, I wrote that like when I was dealing with the relationships I was dealing with at that time. Plural. But yeah, he knows. Yeah, that song came from pure out of those things that I was dealing with at that time. I don't even. How does Strawberries 2 go again? Hey, yo, I know we both be keeping secrets. Repeat this. I love you. Like, no. Yeah, like, with that song, it's like, that shit is cool. I like it. It's dope. That's dope. I just know, like, that whole situation, to even write about it was, like, really hard, though. It was hard.
It's like flow. Is it hard, like, keeping on track or do you do that on purpose? Because some of your songs, like when you flowing, is like unorthodox,
and that's
kind of like a spoken word.
That's been built over time. That wasn't. Now it's on purpose. I can get on a beat and really like just stay on. You heard Demons. It's straight flow all the way through. You heard songs like what's another song where Paranoia, where I just stay on beat the whole time. Now it's on purpose because I feel like that makes me an individual, and people like shit like that sometimes. Like, they like the unorthodox. Sometimes it comes out of left field. Like, why would he choose this flow, but it fits on this fucking beat? How did he do it? So, yeah, it's on purpose now. Like, I can be on some regular shit on the beat all day.
I was on your Instagram. Hot 97 shouted you out. Like, what did you think about their, like, critiques of your like, I know it was, like, long, it was kind of long
yeah,
ago,
that was, like, 2 years ago. That was dope. I mean, I know both of them personally, so them giving me feedback on my music is dope because they're like the higher ups in the game. Like that's on Thomas is the editor-in-chief and Vibe, and was one of the first people to reach out to me when I dropped the first Strawberries. He was like so enthusiastic about who I was gonna become, and even when I dropped Submerge recently, he like did a whole post. He works for Billboard now. He's like one of the he writes for Billboard magazine. He does all the big stories and whatnot. He writes a whole post on Instagram with the album cover and everything. Like, yo, he's figuring out his superpowers. He's great at what he does now. Like, he's dope. Like he's gonna be the next problem in this game, pretty much. And that means a lot coming from people that's been in this game, that's seen Big L come and pass away. Biggie, Tupac, like they were around during these times, and these great artists have come. So to be able to have him be like, yo, he's going to be the next prodigy in this game and, like, the next big thing means the world. Just to know how long he's been around and how many people I look up to and how many people he compares me to and shit like that. So that's always fire for me.
This is a personal question. Like, what made you at the end of Strawberries, the first one, made you put, like, the Frankie Lyman sample?
My mom. My mom is a very heavy influence on my music. She used to play a lot of 70s soul music, 60s soul music, 50s. Even that's what she listens to. She hates rap, actually. She likes my rap. Too. She likes rap now. She likes my rap. She's my fan and shit like that. But yeah, that's who at that time she was fucking. That's what was played in my house. Like if I was listening to rap, it had to be on the low, like. And she used to play that shit a lot. Why do fools fall in love? And that shit was like, it was big for me. Like, I was like, yo, this is great music. I love 70s music, 60s music. Like, oldies in general is like my shit. I'll listen to that over rap, actually. Because I fuck with that shit so much. Like, I have my mom's soul. Like, that's what it is. Like, that shit is dope. So, yeah, that's what influenced it. My mom playing that shit around the house when I was like 9, 10 years old.
So you was kind of heavy on not just the writing part, but also the producing part with your boy Dre One. You was telling me in the lobby.
Yeah, we did it. I ain't gonna take credit for like all of the beats. I know I constructed FI from scratch, like being in the studio from like 7 p.m. I think he was there. You were there too, like when I recorded that shit. Like he seen how hard like if you hear the aggression on the song and how much I didn't breathe on that shit, he was there when I was in the booth and then sitting down for the next 7 hours coming up with piano keys on how to make this shit good and then coming up with like how we gonna construct, because it was an acapella at first, how are we gonna construct a beat around this and then creating the keys to go on that shit. And then, like, having my mans, later on, like, months later, having my mans Mad Max come through and, like, lay his vocals on that. If I can change. Like, he killed that shit. But it was just, like, yeah, I constructed that from, like, nothing. Like, thin air, literally. Paranoid.
No, it was, I'm pretty sure it was samples.
No samples.
Also just straight.
Yeah, we get in the bag off of that. That's all ours.
Publishing,
okay, that's all ours.
So that's even more work.
Yeah, exactly. Paranoia is another one that we like cooked up from not, I wouldn't say scratch, but it was like something we built on. What's another one? He did Hope. Me and him did Hope. He sent me the beat, and I was like, yo, bro, you got to add this, you got to add that. And Hope is, like, the favorite song on iTunes and shit like that. Like, you can see on the charts. on people that what songs they like on the album the most, Hope is like the number one shit up there. And he did that shit from Dirt too. Like me and him did that shit from Dirt. What's another track? That was about it. It was like four tracks that we really laced from the bottom up.
What about the rest? The rest was
Forgive Me Too. Shout outs to my homie Jermaine at RCA Records, A&R at RCA Records and whatnot. He helped me get the beat for Forgive Me Too. And we had ran into some problems like for a few months because I was broke as shit. We had just came back from LA. We had recorded the song, but I was broke as shit. And the producer had wanted the money for it right away. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm not putting it out yet. Shout out to Roddy. Shout out to Roddy the Music, you know? He was like, yo, I need that bread. I'm like, yo, bro, I ain't got it right now, you know? And
you ever got into like paying him?
of course.
Oh, okay.
You can't put it out without paying him, you know?
Oh,
yeah, I eventually paid him, but it was just like, them niggas don't want to hear you don't got the money for that shit right now. Like, nigga, I sent you this beat, nigga, send me my bread. But yeah, that was sent out. I gave him the money. And shout outs to Jermaine. Shout outs to the music. I think they about to drop a song with Nick Caution tonight on Beats One Radio and shit like that. Like
Nick Caution,
they produced something for Nick Caution and it's about to drop on Beats One. And they shot a video for it and all that. So the music is about to be like the next big thing. He got a couple of placements on like couple big artists this year because my homie Jermaine is an A&R for a lot of different producers, like young producers coming up. So yeah, shout outs to the music. Shout out to my boy Roddy. Them niggas is dope. Shout out to 1993 Park Ave. He didn't do anything on my project, but he's just a dope producer and he works with them. So yeah, they're dope. Shout outs to all of them over there.
Any songs that didn't make the album that you wish you put on there? Or?
Yo, uploading the album at 2:00 in the morning wasn't the smartest thing. We uploaded it at 2 a.m. and we forgot one song off of it. It was supposed to be 12 tracks originally.
Oh, okay.
And one of the songs, the second to last song was like a really deep song about my friend passing away and shit like that. And we did not get to upload it. So eventually when I finally released it on SoundCloud, I put the song up, but it just didn't have the same effect. Like I feel like the album would have been even more better if that one song was on there. But we forgot, like I literally forgot to put the shit up. And I even tried to like reverse it. I hit up TuneCore like, yo, can I take this down and like re-upload it? And they were like, nah, you can't. It's already submitted and whatnot. I'm like, fuck it.
Damn.
Yeah, but it's all good, you know. Now I know not to upload shit at 2 a.m. when you're tired.
Like, that song, you ever plan on releasing it?
Yeah, I released it on SoundCloud.
On
like,
SoundCloud?
when I released Submerge as an album on SoundCloud, eventually, like, I waited, like, 2 months to put it out on SoundCloud. Yeah, I put it out. It's called, what's the name of the shit again? It's not Hope. It's, I have so many songs right now, I can't even remember. I forget the name of it, but
you
it's
put out an EP before the album came out, right?
Yeah, I put out 2 EPs this year. I put out Just Cuz 1 and Just Cuz 2. I removed Just Cuz 2 because I just wasn't I don't want that up yet. I just want people to my SoundCloud listeners that can't stream shit through Apple Music, like I want you, or Apple Music, Spotify, whatever. I want you to listen to it on SoundCloud if you can for free, just to enjoy the music and whatnot.
Oh, you just putting out just to enjoy before the album came out, whatever.
So I put out Just Cuz EP. That shit had got a lot of attention too. So
yeah, I know. I saw that Dre
that
Facebook.
was a crazy moment. You had ex-girlfriends hitting me up, friends mad, all types of shit. But I was just being honest, you know. Just being honest.
Yeah, I saw the stream, man. I saw the Facebook.
Everybody was going crazy over that shit. I was getting thousands of hit-ups that day. Like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and it's so crazy because
you purposely did that just trying to get some type of like.
Nah,
no?
that was just out of pure honesty. It's something I felt at the moment. I was like, fuck that. I'm gonna record this shit. He know, like I'm never gonna put out a song to get shock value. I don't care about that shit.
He's just gonna express himself.
Yeah,
himself either way. So
I fuck with it.
It is how it is.
Yeah.
It was pretty dope that it got the views. It got you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like it's crazy. I'm pretty sure. I'm not gonna say that you did it on purpose, but I'm pretty sure you was happy with the results.
Yo, bro, it was so crazy. I got off of social media for like 4. I went to go do something that day or some shit like that. And I checked my phone, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why I got so many notifications? Niggas just like, yo, K got the streets going crazy. I'm just like, yo, what the hell? Like, nah, there's no way this is actually happening right now. And I'm like, wait. And that's why I was literally commenting on things like, yo, y'all serious right now? Y'all actually mad? Like, this is real? This is actually happening? But fuck it. After a while, I just didn't give a fuck. I was like, I don't care. I said what I said, and I don't take it back. I just felt how I felt at that moment, you know?
Are y'all cool? Like, are y'all cool with the people that you...
Of course, those are my brothers. It happens, but I'm an artist. They can't express them. I'm pretty sure niggas talk the way they talk amongst each other, but I'm just a rapper. I'm going to get on the mic, and nobody know. Like, people aren't going to care that much to be like, I don't fuck with you because you did this to K. It's just like, this situation happened and I spoke out about it. Drake does it all the time. Does anybody, you think his friends be like, yo, fuck you, Drake? Nah, they be like, I get it, bro. You were going through something at that moment, you wrote about it. So that's what it was for me at that moment.
So yeah, everybody's
we
good.
all good. I speak to niggas every day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Nah, it's good to have friends that's like outside of the music industry.
Yeah,
you know
always.
Because sometimes you have to, like, when you doing art is frustrating, so you have to step outside your battery and go and
go talk to regular people. That's not always.
That's not about music and shit like
all
that.
day
bullshit,
long. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel you. So so you're saying you're doing making music. What's next? Touring, huh? Is it touring next?
Yeah, touring. More merch, more music videos, and time to get back into the lab and work on this next album, my debut, album. So that's what's really on the menu right now. That's about it. Just like right now, it's like the waiting period for us. Like, there's big shit happening behind the scenes and whatnot for us, but it's just that waiting window where you have to sit there and wait and just like be patient through all the fucked up shit that's going on around you, and just like, all right, some lit shit is about to happen, so I just gotta wait. It's cool. And it really shows how patient you can be, especially when it comes to like being successful and where you're gonna be. So
you gotta be patient.
Gotta be patient. And right now it's the most that I haven't been speaking about like things that are happening for me. I may say like I'm in the studio or not, but I'm not like saying what's happening for me. This deal is happening, this is happening, and none of that. Like, I'm not speaking about it because for one, I don't want anybody blocking my blessings or anything like that, and just remaining quiet. Law 16 and the 48 powers of law. Use absence to increase honor and respect. That's what you really have to do. Any artist out there that's listening, be quiet, count your blessings, and just don't let people know your hands all the time. Just do your thing,
Live your best life.
Yeah, live your best life. And when shit starts to happen, people will be like, holy shit.
I want to ask the both of you, like, the serious question is, like, was it, like, a time where you felt like quitting?
Nah.
Hell yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not for him. He always tells me, like, nigga, you bugging. Hell yeah.
What was my job? I used to be like, nah, bro. I mean, it's just getting wild right now. I'm like, yo, we not dead, so.
Yeah, that's
wow.
That's his idea.
I never heard that before.
That's all he says, and
that's
it works.
very optimistic.
It works.
Dead,
it works.
Yeah.
It works because it definitely helps me. I'll be like, yeah, you're right.
So you felt like quitting. So what was that moment?
There's been a couple moments like that, but those moments, you just like, nigga, fuck this shit. I don't want to do this anymore. You don't want to deal with this. So
what made you like think about, like, what made you like
certain obstacles that we had to deal with? Like, even creating this album was a lot of obstacles. I can't even believe I finished the album and put it out. That's how I felt. Like, it was like we were dealing with that much shit at that time. That's what it was. And I had those moments where I even text him like, yo, I don't want to do this shit no more, bro. He'd be like, nigga, you bugging. You ain't dead. Yeah. That's literally what he's like.
He will tell it to me if I have those moments. I had a moment like that, like, earlier this
week.
He
had a couple moments like that.
I'm like, yo, it's just getting crazy, man. Things
as far as like doing videos and shit like that.
Like videos, and then you see people around you. I mean, everybody has those moments. You see people you knew every single day just getting up there, and then you just want
right.
Sometimes
that's one of those things too, where you feel like you deserve it.
Yeah, it's like, yo, I'm happy for you, but it's like, you know, damn.
Nigga,
like
I'm supposed to. It's never for me. When I see people that I know doing big things, it's never out of hate. Like, if I feel like I should be there, it's never out of hate. It's out of pure passion. Like, I want to be there, and I know I deserve to be there. Like, nigga, why did this happen for you?
It motivates you.
But it motivates you, yeah. It's like, yo, I got to get to that point now. And I got to get to that point because I know how hard I work, and I know how hard I go with this. So, when I see other people, I'll be like, it's that moment where you're like, it's never out of hate, though. I don't want people to think that, but it's out of just like, damn.
Tell your truth, man.
I want to be. I want to be.
Say how you feel.
I want to be at that. I want to gain that.
Yeah.
But you never know that person's adversities and whatnot, so you never want to be insensitive to that shit.
You don't know what else they took.
Exactly.
What things they had to hurdle over, so you don't want to ever put out that negative energy, because then when you make it, somebody else gonna put that on you.
Yeah, because even now we deal with people that be like on some hate and shit, or I know it's never out of hate. They just don't understand why this person is here, and they just like they communicate it wrong.
People in the industry? You talking about people?
Regular people. Regular people out here that hate.
That don't really do music.
They do music. They're not in the industry. When you say industry, I mean I thought you meant like niggas that's like up there and like.
Nah, I mean like if you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you in the industry.
But I just thought that. Well, we have to deal with people that like literally have hate in their heart towards whatever, for whatever weird reason they feel we don't deserve it or whatnot, or whatever we gain we don't deserve. But I just understand, because I know what it's like to be an artist and how frustrating it is to like deal with those things and deal with people, and how you're trying to come up and then you see a nigga that's like over here, K. Anthony, why is he coming up? What's going on? Like, why am I not getting that? And you just gotta understand it. It's like, I know why you feel that way, bro. It's okay. It's cool.
So winding down, I know you, K. Anthony, like to speak things into existence on your Facebook statuses and your Twitter
all the time.
So is there anything you want to
positivity all the time, man? It's the only way to go.
Anything you want to say now? You feel like your futures? Like, what do you think is next for K. Anthony?
I'm the next king of New York. For a fact, I'm the next king of New York. I'm going to be the next best thing out of here, the best spitter. And I only know that because of God, you know. I'm never out of cockiness. I just know I'm going to be the next spitter. I'm going to be honed as the greatest, one of the greatest out of New York, you know, and just...
You're going to be in meetings with Jay-Z, huh?
All the time, and I'm going to always get better. Every project, you're going to hear me level up. It's never going to be a project where you hear like, damn, K fell off. No, I'm always going to push myself to get better. That's why I'm always working. So, yeah, that's all I want to speak into existence.
All right. Cool, man. Glad to have you on the podcast.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. This was really dope. I like the questions. I like the conversations that we had. Is very healthy, you know, to have these conversations, especially about music. We don't get to talk about it enough, so.
I feel you. All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.